Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock and we begin tonight with breaking news. A child is dead this evening after a crash on the south side of Indy. Two others, including the child's dad, critically injured. Our Logan Gay just talked with police at the scene near Raymond Street and State Avenue. Logan, we understand police are now looking for the driver.
Yes, that's right. They're still looking for that driver, so they're asking if anyone knows anything or has video that they come to them immediately. But what we know, you mentioned that child and its father, they were crossing this crosswalk right behind me when police say a driver, a man driving in that Charger right there with the flashing lights, ran a red light, hit this car here that's on the side of the road. And then that man in the Charger got out and ran. Unfortunately, the child on the bicycle that father was taken to the hospital in very critical condition. Now the woman who was driving the other car that was hit, that woman is also in critical condition. You can see just how widespread this scene is right now. There's a lot going on. If you look at the ground, you can see all kinds of debris. Also, if you look right here, you can see that there is the bicycle that the child was in. Now, police say the father had a tow along behind the bicycle where the child was in. So when the driver ran the red light, the child was being towed by the father on the bicycle. Just a very, very sad situation, and there's a lot going on, a lot that our detectives are investigating right here. But again, that child passed, and the driver of the Charger, they're still looking for them. This is what the officer has to say about this scene.
Unfortunately, we do have not necessarily this intersection, but we do have it's starting to warm up, and so you have your spinners starting to come out as well, and people increasing their speeds because it's warmer and everybody wants to get out. And unfortunately, in this case, besides speed being a factor, was the fact that the vehicle ran the red light.
Now, they say that because the scene is so wide and large, they are going to be here for several hours as they continue to process it and look for evidence. So they're asking if you don't have to be near here to avoid the area. As more information comes out about the driver and the father of that child, we'll get that to you about their conditions. But again, that child is the only one so far that has died on this scene. So very sad situation, but we will keep you updated on any more developments. Scott.
Yes, such a tragic result. Logan Gay on the south side, thanks so much. We're going to follow this story for you over the coming hours. You'll be able to see every breaking development on Sunrise beginning at 4 a.m. Tonight, Brownsburg police are now confirming the arrest of a former daycare worker in connection with a massive investigation. Gabriel Garner is currently in the Hendricks County Jail on preliminary charges of child molestation and child exploitation. Tonight, police are telling us he used to work at Main Street University for Kids. Police in Brownsburg are now working with DCS and Child Advocacy Center Susie's Place as part of this ongoing investigation. They're asking any families who think their child was a victim of abuse to please call the DCS hotline. Well, it has been more than a year now since IPS announced it was creating a mental health and school culture task force after a lawsuit against the school. Tonight, they finally had their first public meeting. That task force stemmed from that accident where a teacher allegedly recorded students fighting and even egged them on. Now members say they spent the last year getting the right community leaders in place. This group did not take any action this evening, but they did lay out their mission.
This task force is really about evaluating, looking at the culture, looking at the services, and then asking folks what's missing, what are we missing, where are our opportunities to serve you better.
That task force will be evaluating the IPS culture with multiple tools, surveys to track the data, focus groups, and one-on-one interviews. Tonight, the ACLU of Indiana is suing Indiana Governor Mike Braun over a provision in the recently passed budget bill. This suit centers on Indiana University's Board of Trustees. So before that budget bill, IU alums would vote and then choose 3 board members. The governor would then choose the rest. Now, Governor Braun would select all 9 board members, and the ACLU says that change is unconstitutional.
Pretty easy to understand. The question is, here you have 5 public universities all allowing for input in trustee selection. And now IU's been cut out of that, and there's no reason to treat IU differently.
A spokesperson for IU told us they would not comment on pending litigation, but confirmed tonight the alumni election for the board would not take place. The governor's office also declined to comment on this lawsuit, but just last week, Governor Braun answered questions about the move.
It enabled a few people to actually determine 3 board members, and I don't think that is real representation. If it was more broadly ascribed to, it would be different.
The lawsuit wants a judge to allow the election to continue while a court decides whether the new legislation is constitutional. Right now, there is no timeline for when that may take place. Angela?
Scott, mainly cloudy and very mild on this Wednesday night. Clouds, but no rain yet. The showers are close. We're tracking a few across the central and southern sections of Illinois and back through portions of Missouri. What we may see overnight and for the morning drive, under some of the thicker clouds, a few sprinkles, but nothing really weather-wise to slow you down. Sunrise is at 6:38. From there, not quite as warm. High temperatures tomorrow afternoon in the upper 60s. Not quite as warm because of a cold front pushing south. Some moisture moving in, and the combination will keep the clouds around and the chance of a few showers, especially tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night.
Angela, thanks so much. Tonight at 11, neighbors along the Monon Trail are coming together as they work to get answers about our city's plan to widen the Monon. This is a story we first told you about last night at 11. Some Hoosiers living along the Monon Trail between 56th and 96th Streets tell us they're on board with widening the trail, but they're telling us our city is asking for up to 66 feet of their property without a clear explanation as to why it needs so much land. So we talked to one resident who told us this effort from neighbors is about clearing up confusion, not fighting with the city of Indianapolis.
So this is all about just trying to understand what the options are, and also trying to get the city to the table with the group to say, hey, we all want this to happen. Nobody here is saying that they don't want the trail to be widened and repaved. We actually all want it to be widened and repaved. It's that is 16 feet, and you're asking for 66 feet, and you're asking for a kid's swing set, and the thing that keeps them safe, the fence, and all of this other stuff is really the issue.
We got a statement from DPW last night saying the city is trying to secure full ownership of parts of the Monon Trail because in some areas it only holds easement rights. All of this stems from how the land was originally acquired when it was the Monon Railroad. Want you to take a look at the road repairs taking place near downtown Indy. Crews out there today fixing parts of Pennsylvania Street from 11th to Vermont. DPW posting these photos on social media. City leaders are asking you to be careful around these work zones. And DPW just accepted $35 million to improve our city's infrastructure. That funding comes from the Indianapolis Metropolitan Planning Organization. It'll go towards several projects around our city, including Raymond Street over Bean Creek Bridge, the Nickel Plate Bridge over 82nd, and the Monon Bridge over 86th Street. All that money will also boost trails and roundabouts with a goal of improving mobility and safety. And tomorrow, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett will join other city leaders to mark the start of construction season. The 2025 capital infrastructure budget calls for DPW to invest $268 million into transportation and stormwater projects across Marion County. That number is $1 billion over the next 5 years. Tomorrow we'll get a look at plans for this year. That event gets underway at 11 o'clock at Hendricks Park.